man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Got our official sponsor, Greenwood Stock Trading. If you want to learn how to make some passive income, some extra money, so you can invest in your future and your kids' future, give them a call for a free 10-minute consultation, 281-760-3170. Go get to the bag.
All right, man. Ryan Garcia dad says basically if it get ugly, he is going to stop the fight. You know, if it get ugly for Ryan Garcia versus Tank, that's what he was saying. Now, what's so funny, I think it was the guy from Fight Hype. I don't know his name. Would he be interviewing for Fight Hype? And he said that they was having the conversation off camera, so they agreed to turn on the camera. And let's talk about what Ryan Garcia dad said. Check out the Box News playlist. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. And the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance to get notifications when we go live or drop a video. Financially want to support the channel. Cash App $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. So he basically was saying that, you know, the trainer has to know more than him, but he's going to be, you know, basically second in the corner. But his son's well-being, he said his son is his most important part of him. His son's well-being is at the top of his list. And that, you know, he determines when that tile go in, you know. And he asked him, have you and Ryan talked about that? And he said no, because, you know, it hasn't got to that point, or, you know, it's never been close to that point. I guess it's being dropped by Luke Campbell. Maybe it was just a flash knockdown. Apparently his dad knows a lot. His dad said he's an engineer. I forget what type of engineer. Also says he's also a jazz player as well too. So, you know, a renaissance man, and he know about boxing, and he's smart enough not to be he's smart enough to get somebody who know more than him. You know what I'm saying? So he's smart enough to take a step back, and his father's never really like in the video, or I don't know, man, he more reserved, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, him and Bill Haney might kind of like be the platinum standard for father trainers right now. They don't never do too much. I think Bill more like promoting on his son, you know, I'm gonna promote him. He said, you know what, I won't train no more. You know, his son wanted him to be there. So, you know, I think it's a certain comfort level when you know, got somebody in the corner, but you know, but nonetheless, never doing too much, you know, letting the guys coach and, you know, like that. But I think any father in that position is going to determine when his son had enough. Now, you can remember a few years ago, his parents was not letting him spar hard neither. And when the sparring got too hard, they allegedly stopped it, or they said they don't let Ryan spar too much or hard sparring, which in my opinion, dude, all these kind of like check off the prerequisite boxes. In my opinion, all these is like, I have no issue with it at all. All these boxes that he checking off is what a man supposed to do. He's supposed to be a protector, a provider, you know what I'm saying? For your son, you know. And sparring ain't supposed to be hard. It's a learning experience. You work on things. It ain't supposed to be barbaric. Excuse me. It ain't supposed to be you just working on stuff. It's practice. You know, now the intensity, yeah, you want nice intensity. You want to mimic a fight as much as possible. But a lot of them dudes in there trying to score knockouts and trying to win sparring. They ain't no box rec for sparring. So you want wholesome sparring. And I don't mean to the point where, like, you know, the Huxtables or fucking. No, I just mean you want good sparring. Where you leave with something and you don't leave it in, you don't leave your prime in the gym. Because the majority of injuries happen in sparring. More injuries can occur in the gym than they do occur in the ring. Real talk. And once you break the math down to it, that ain't much of a complication. If you sparring 100 rounds for in 8, 10, 12 weeks period, 200 rounds, come on. What does the probability and statistics tell you? Do I got a better chance to getting injured doing 100 or 200 rounds of sparring, or 50 rounds of sparring, or a 12-round fight? Where in that 12-round fight, I got a commission, I got the doctor right there. In sparring, ain't no commission, ain't no doctor. You can have a whole concussion and be like, I'm all right. And okay, you'll take corner, oh, he cool. Meanwhile, you ain't all right. So a lot of people don't know shit about boxing. And I picked this stuff up talking to coaches and trainers and people who participated. So, but nonetheless, everything he's saying is right. I'm going to determine. Now, he didn't say as soon as he getting the first sign of trouble, I'm throwing the towel in. Then if he did that, he'd have did that versus Luke Campbell. But he's the determining factor when he had enough. But I think it's healthy to have that conversation now. And even if, even he probably lying, they probably did have a conversation. Because why would he reveal to us them not having that conversation? And maybe it's just something that don't need to be spoken, that's understood. Kind of like when Diego Corrales got beat up by Floyd and his stepfather stopped the fight. He was upset and angry about it. I mean, obviously, that's how you want a fighter to react. He's a warrior. What Mike Tyson said in that Cannabis song, he said, we warriors. We go into battle, and he said, we win or we don't come out at all. This is what we signed up for. But his son got options. It ain't life or death. His son got real options. He got other ways of avenues. It's not just boxing or failure. For a lot of these dudes, even if they made millions of dollars in your mind, it's still boxing or failure. A lot of these dudes ain't investing their money. They ain't learning how to make more money. They might have merch. It might be about it. They ain't expanding their brand. It's like niggas on YouTube who get stagnant doing the same thing. Depending on YouTube when there's 1,000 other ways to grow your brand and increase revenue. You know what I'm saying? And he done branched off. He ain't got a box. And then again, that kind of factor into the decision. If he do get in trouble throwing the towel in and going through punishment, I ain't got to do this. Victor Ortiz went back to Kansas University, got his degree. He didn't have to do this. Was in movies. He said, you know what, I shouldn't be taking this punishment versus Madonna. A lot of fans got mad. He recovered. But, he never really had to be like, is this or going back to poverty. He done what he supposed to do, with boxing, and he made an avenue. But I think, people factoring in that the weight cut was tough, looking tough on him. That's what you fucking expect. He got the rehydration clause. And his dad probably gonna say, well, he ain't 100%. I'm gonna throw the towel in the first sign of trouble or whatever situation may be. Could be. Could be. Could be the way he looking drained. It could be hedging some bets. But he said, I'm gonna determine when he had enough. A lot of people think he gonna throw that towel in quicker than quick. And once that towel go in, I only seen one ref, it was a Yuri Foreman ref, was it Arthur McCanny, I think it was. I could be wrong, I always get it wrong. In a McGill Cotto fight, and the ref took the white towel and threw it back in the corner. The only time I seen that shit. And the man Yuri Foreman ended up having a torn ACL. They was fighting in the Bronx at the Yankee Stadium. So when that towel come in, like I said before, in my opinion, this fight is losing luster. Every all access, every day, every hour, every minute, every second, is losing luster. All access is not well. They boring. The price made a lot of people say outside the box community, hell no. The lack of promotion and all this stuff. The weight. All of it just scream money grab. It's a ski mask. Ski mask and grab. Smash and grab. But, his father, is being real. Like, I'm going to determine when he had enough. And that threshold might be high. He know what his son made of. And apparently he know enough about boxing to make that decision. So, we know how this gonna end. But what's so funny is, and like I said, I've been following this fight, but not a ton. And I could be wrong. And let me know if I'm wrong. But it seemed like people was overcomplicating the Rolly fight more than this fight. Where people was trying to find ways to give, what my boy Coach Malachi say, Big Rolo a chance at beating Tank. And people was overcomplicating it. Saying Rolly big and letting Rolly mouth write a check his ass can't cash. And people was trying to find a way to carry the one and give Rolly a chance to win. More than Ryan Garcia. I don't see a lot of people saying Ryan Garcia gonna win or giving a reason why Ryan Garcia gonna win. And his dad coming out saying this basically don't help the cause. I think it had to do with the weight. And but I don't really see most people saying Ryan Garcia gonna win. Honestly, I don't see a whole bunch of people saying Ryan Garcia gonna win. You don't. You don't. You don't see people saying why Ryan Garcia gonna win, or this how he can win, and this is why he gonna win, this is why he gonna do this, that, and the third. You don't hear that. You don't hear people, the reasons that you don't hear people, trying to overcomplicate this. And I think the weight they should have kept the weight of non-disclosure agreement like Canelo. The weight took a lot of they took a lot of people's, hope out of this fight. It did. But that's what a father supposed to do. Protect, provide. He didn't get what the threshold was when he think Ryan had enough. People said, well, Kenny said he was going to stop the fight before the fight and all this. And, we'll see. When it came to Sean and Terrence, we'll see. We'll see, but to each his own. Can't tell another man what to do for his son. His son going to have to respect it. Or he see that interview and they haven't had that conversation. You got to tell him, like, look here, man. Because we know what Joe Goosen about. When you go talk about Diego Corrales versus Jose Luis Castillo, Joe Goosen gonna give you every opportunity, in there. Joe Goosen damn near let you die in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Joe Goosen is one of them dudes that what you signed up for. We Warriors. You're gonna have to get carried out this bitch. And just like Deontay Wilder told Mark Breland, that's what he really wanted. And guess what? That's what he really got. So if that's what Ryan want, to be, carried out like a true warrior, if it come down to it, his dad should respect his wishes. And he might want to remove his dad from his corner. Because the emotional attachment, man, like, come on. Something that you created, something that you groomed, something that you raised, something that you gave life, you know what I'm saying, in there, and you can't do shit about it. And apparently they close. So that's why sometimes you gotta separate the business from the family. Because it's hard to separate the emotional attachment. So you gotta remember, well, we all expect Ryan to get knocked the fuck out anyway. So, maybe it happened sooner, maybe it happened later, but it's gonna happen. Ryan Garcia is gonna lose. With or without the weight, it didn't matter. It's probably happened a little bit quicker with the weight thing, but we'll see. Only they know how the weight cut going, and they know how the camp going. We'll wait and see. But check out the Box News playlist. I think Fight Hype had the interview, or Fight Hub had the interview, excuse me. I think it was the Marcus guy that said it. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially want to support the channel. Cash App, $CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Link to the first link in the description. Check out the Box News playlist for more videos like this. Peace.